Hi and welcome to TTN Info TVSK channel. My name is Syed. Here I'm with the latest news for Sunday 16 July 2023. This was all. Saudi Arabia and US Foreign Minister discuss international developments. Foreign Minister Prince Faisal bin Farhan bin Abdullah spoke by phone with the US Secretary of State Attorney Blinken on Friday. During the conversation, they discussed the Saudi-US relation ways to enhance them in all fields and the latest regional and international developments. Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, Vice President and Prime Minister of the UAE and ruler of Dubai, celebrates his 74th birthday on Saturday. The ruler was born on July 15, 1949 and raised in the Al Maktoum family home in Shingdaga on the banks of Dubai Creek. As the third son of Sheikh Rashid bin Saeed Al Maktoum, he spent his childhood in a large courtyard house which stands today as a historical landmark alongside his brothers. India's Prime Minister Modi lands in Abu Dhabi as official visit to UAE starts. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi arrived in Abu Dhabi on Saturday to mark the start of his official visit to the UAE. Sheikh Khalid bin Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, the Crown Prince of Abu Dhabi, welcomed Modi and his accompanying delegation. The two engaged in warm conversation about the historical ties between the two countries and their people and praised the level of joint strategic cooperation between the two nations across multiple vital sectors, according to the state news agency WAM. UAE and India agreed to use local currency for bilateral cross-border transactions. The United Arab Emirates President Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan Saturday received Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who is on an official visit to the UAE. Upon arrival at Qasr Al Watan in Abu Dhabi, the Indian Prime Minister's motorcade was met by a group of Emirati children waving the flag of both countries. Sheikh Mohammed greeted Modi and those who accompanied him during an official reception ceremony that included a guard of honor welcome, a 21-gun salute and a performance of the national anthem of India and the UAE. In a boost to bilateral trade and investment, Modi announced that India and the United Arab Emirates have agreed to start trade settlement in local currencies. Prime Minister Modi said that he hopes that bilateral trade between the two countries goes past the $100 billion mark soon, as it currently stands at $85 billion. The India and UAE comprehensive strategic partnership has been steadily strengthening, and the Prime Minister's visit will be an opportunity to identify ways to take this forward in various domains such as energy, education, healthcare, food security, fintech, defense and culture, the Minister of External Affairs said. Sweden Torah burning protester abandons his plan. A 32-year-old man who sparked condemnation from Israel for his plans to burn a Torah in Stockholm on Saturday said he was not going to go ahead with his protest. He explained that his intention was in fact to denounce those who burn sacred books such as the Quran in the Nordic country. Swedish police on Friday said they had granted a permit for a protest which was to include a burning of the Torah and the Bible outside the Israel embassy in Stockholm. Israel President Isaac was one of several Israeli representatives and Jewish organizations to immediately condemn the decision. Japanese Prime Minister to visit Saudi Arabia on Sunday. Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida will embark on a visit to Saudi Arabia on Sunday, Nikkei reported. As per Nikkei said that Kishida is scheduled to meet with Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. The two countries are expected to agree on joint investment development rare earth resource. Mr. Fumio Kishida is visiting Saudi Arabia as part of a tour of the Middle East. As part of the agreement, memorandum of cooperation will be signed soon by Japan's Minister of Economic, Trade and Industry, the state-backed Japan Organization for Metal and Energy Security, and Saudi Arabia's Minister of Industry and Mineral Resource. Anger as Paris bans protests against police violence. A Paris court on Saturday banned a protest against police violence in the capital as tension freeze following riots earlier this month over the police killing of a teenager. Authorities have attempted to clamp down on demonstration to avoid further chaos after the week of riots saw massive destruction to public and private property. Interior Minister Gerald Darmanin had announced the ban on Wednesday of any protest directly linked to the riots that followed the shooting of 17-year-old Nahal during a traffic stop. UK immigration fees hikes face criticism. The UK's oldest medical union on Saturday hit out the government plans to increase the amount migrant workers paid to use the state health care service to cover public sector wage increase. Prime Minister Rishi Sunak government this week approved recommendation to boost wage of teacher, doctor and police by between 5 to 7%. Mr. Rishi Sunak ruled out tax increase or government borrowing to fund the rise, but instead said hikes in the immigration health surcharge and visa fees would rise £1 billion. Pakistan Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif has said that it took 15 months of our government to fix relation with America. Talking to businessmen and industrialists at the Governor House Lahore on Saturday, Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif said that unfortunately the previous government which dealt a blow to our relations with the United States was completely due to lack of thoughts and very limited thinking. Since then, the coalition government has made it night and day in terms of smoothing relations. Saudi Arabia's world record in making salt water usable. Saudi Arabia has created a new international record by making 11.5 million cubic meters of salt water usable per day. According to Al-Iqsadiyya, the national institution that makes salt water usable in Saudi Arabia has said that it has set a new world record for producing usable water. The agency said that more than 11.5 million cubic meters of usable water is being produced every day. Environmental laws and regulations are also being followed in this regard. The organization says our target is to reduce carbon emission by 37 million tons by the end of 2025. IIT Delhi to set up campus in Abu Dhabi. The Union Minister of Education and Abu Dhabi Education and Knowledge Department on July 15 signed a memorandum of understanding for setting up an IIT Delhi campus in the Gulf country. Prime Minister Narendra Modi is currently on an official visit to the UAE. China criticized German call for reducing dependence on China product as protectionism. China on Friday criticized the German government call for reducing dependence on Chinese product and decreasing other potential unstable factor in bilateral relation, calling it a form of protectionism. Foreign Ministry spokesperson Wang Binbin said that a long-awaited German government strategy for relations with China that pointed to a systematic rivalry went against the trend of the times and will only aggravate divisions in the world. Mr. Wang said the two countries were partners rather than rivals, a typical ruling Chinese Communist Party formulation for dismissing criticism. Specific issues should not define ties, China tells India. In a reflection of continuing difference in how India and China view taking ties forward, Beijing top diplomat Wang Yi told External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar in Jakarta that a specific issue should not define the overall relationship. In Friday talks with the Chinese Foreign Ministry said in a statement on Saturday had been held at India's request, Mr. Jaishankar said both sides had discussed outstanding issues related to peace and tranquility in border areas. Our conversation also covered EAS and ARF Asian Regional Forum agenda, BRICS and the Indo-Pacific, the ministry said in a message on Twitter. Mr. Jaishankar had also during bilateral talks with visiting Chinese Foreign Minister Qin Gang in March and underlined the importance of peace on the line of actual control as a prerequisite for normalizing in the border relationship and called for China to take forward disengagement in two remaining frictions areas. Indian American rally in support of India at San Francisco consulate after Khalistani attack. Scores of Indian Americans held a peace rally in front of the Indian consulate here to express solidarity with India following a recent attempt arson at the diplomatic facility by Khalistan supporters. A video by Khalistan supporters dated July 2 posted on Twitter showed the act of arson at the Indian consulate in San Francisco. It was the second such act of violence within months. Several special guests by France in banquet for Prime Minister Modi officials. France met several special guests for the banquet hosted by its President Emmanuel Macron for Prime Minister Narendra Modi, officials said on Saturday. To begin with, the banquet on the occasion of Bastille Day on Friday was hosted at the Louvre Museum. The last time the museum, home to some of the world's most famous works of art, was the venue for a banquet was in 1953, which was held in the honor of Queen Elizabeth, they said. Torrential rain in South Korea killed at least 7 in landslide floods. 2 days of heavy rain in South Korea killed at least 7 people and left 2 others missing in landslide and floods. The government said on July 15 additionally 8 people were trapped following landslide in central areas earlier in the day. 3 people were killed on Saturday after landslide caused by torrential downpour buried their house in 2 central towns, the Ministry of the Interior and Safety said in a report. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, who rushed to a hospital on July 15 but was in good condition as he underwent a medical evaluation, his office said. The Israeli leader's office said he was being treated at Israel Sheba Hospital near the coastal city of Tel Aviv but gave no further details. Passenger assaulted Air India official on board Sydney-Delhi Air India flight. In yet another incident of unruly behavior mid-air, a passenger allegedly abused and assaulted a senior Air India officials on board its Sydney-Delhi flight recently, according to a source. The incident took place when the Air India officials, who was downgraded from business class to economic due to the seat malfunctioning, tried to correct his co-passenger about his loud voice, the source said. That's all in today's headlines. Keep watching TTN Info TV SK channel by subscribing and do hit the bell icon to receive notification and more updates.